Am I the butthole for cutting my hair after a friend's death despite a contract that dictates what I'm allowed to do, or not to do, with my hair? I've lost my job and have been ostracized by my family, so I figured I'd come to the court of public opinion. One of my best friends of over 10 years lost her battle with the big C word on Christmas. F cancer, y'all. I'm not handling it well, to be honest. I feel like a really crazy person. I literally haven't stopped crying. Through all the tumultuous emotions, I decided that I wanted to cut my hair. I don't know why, but I felt like I wanted to get rid of a psychological weight and my hair was suffocating me. I model and I've been doing it pretty much my whole life. My family is upper middle class due to my income. My parents work as my mangers, even though I had actual, hired, experienced managers throughout the years. My dad works part-time elsewhere, but I am the main breadwinner in the family. Part of my current contract was that I can't cut my hair without prior consent from managing parties or else my contract could be rendered void. It wasn't really an issue until now. For a week, I tried to get consent, but nobody wanted to give it. So, over the weekend, I locked myself in my bathroom and chopped off almost all of my hair. I didn't go as extreme as 2007 Britney, but I was definitely channeling her energy. Now I look like Steve from Stranger Things. I don't feel a lot better, but it was kind of cathartic. I'm glad I did it. My life changed, and I physically reflect that now. Now I'm unemployed, though, because I was released from my contract, and as soon as I'm done with high school, my family wants me gone. I know that I jeopardize my family's financial security, and my parents are scrambling to figure out how to pay the bills because I may have been an immature butthole, but, I don't know, maybe it's grief, but I feel pretty apathetic about it. I wanted to grieve in my own way. Am I the butthole for that? Update, 6:35 p.m. So I talked to a few folks today, and I was sent a copy of the email exchanges that ultimately ended my contract. My contract was set to expire in June, but I wasn't booking until May to give myself time to finish up my last semester in high school. Instead of terminating my contract or firing me, I was released from my contract in a really nice way. I won't copy/paste, but the gist is, here at company we value the health and safety of all our employees, and it seems that Brittany is going through a hard time. Let's release her from her responsibility so she can enjoy school, and should she decide to come back after high school or freshman year of college, she'll be welcomed back into the agency. They even sent a PDF of therapists or counselors that I might want to talk to. I talked to my old manager and she set me up in contact with a lawyer and already has access to copies of my documents, which she sent me in PDF, too. I also contacted Jasmine's mom, who said that I can move in to finish high school if I'm kicked out in March. I'm not going to say much, but what my parents were doing was definitely illegal unless I have trusts, which I doubt because my parents both have nice new cars and stuff. I also emailed my school guidance counselor. I have a new email contact, and I'll be sent my financial records ASAP. So, yeah. Posting this morning, I honestly felt like an ungrateful, whiny teen who effed over her family, but you guys made me realize that my life is definitely not normal or fair, and I thank you all for that, and for the immeasurably kind words you've all given me. I'll keep fighting. Edit, I'm an idiot and somehow blocked someone while scrolling in my inbox. NTA, it's your hair. Also get a lawyer. Your parents should have been saving money in an account for you. They should have lived off their portion of income and saved quite a bit of yours. When you leave, you shouldn't be leaving with nothing. Plus hair grows back. Get a cute cut, and new management. This is why a child should not be the money earner in a family, in my opinion. It's just a dependency that should not be created. When you leave, you shouldn't be leaving with nothing. I have access to nothing, so I'm not sure how to get a lawyer. They say that my money isn't mine. I only got a few comments already, and I'm already starting to think that my parents are shady for using my money. I think I can get a new contract, though. The company that offered my broken contract sent me a sorry to see you go, here's some industry contacts email, so at least that bridge isn't completely burnt. As for my family, even my extended family wants nothing to do with me. My aunt told my mom to kick me out now instead of waiting till I'm 18 and done with school. Kick me out now instead of waiting until I'm 18. Well, that's illegal. You need to look up lawyers in your area ASAP. Your parents' actions could affect you for years because of random things like how they claimed you on their taxes. Depending on where original post is, are they in UK or US? That's what I want to know because it's illegal here and there for sure. Is it? Not sure it's enforced if it is. I know plenty of people, myself included, who left home at 16 in the UK. Some by choice, some kicked out. I was kind of partway between the two. You leaving and parent kicking you out are different things. As I say, I know quite a few who were kicked out at that age and I have never heard of any repercussions at all. Edit, few not festival. Blooming autocorrect. I wonder if it just depends on whether anyone reports it or not. I live in the US, it's illegal. I got kicked out in the middle of the night, and had to walk 6 miles into town and to the hospital because it was the only place open due to COVID. First people that were called were doctors, you know, the people who are supposed to protect kids. It got reported, they investigated, jack crap was done to the buttholes that kicked me out. It is very rarely enforced here, as many of my friends have lived through the same stuff, although I can't speak for the UK and the better parts of the US. Something being illegal doesn't mean the law actually doing anything about it. It is most definitely illegal in the US to abandon your kid if they are under the age of 18, and yet people routinely kick out their Kia Plus children and face very little repercussions. Holy crap, I thought the parents were garbage and then original post tacked on that she's still in high school. She needs to lawyer up somehow. Most lawyers wouldn't take someone Op's age unless she had an advocate on her behalf, mostly to pick up the tab. I was a child model and any funds I had my family ate, that money is gone. In the US, there are very specific laws regarding minors working and performing, including laws about setting up trusts to put the balance of your earnings in. I'd consult with an entertainment lawyer. Sounds like Op's parents saw her as money cow and not a kid. Keeping a kid around only because they earn you lots of money and kicking them out just because they aren't earning money anymore does not scream loving parents. I doubt they love her. Yeah, that is so cruel of them. Basically, she's not useful to them anymore, so throw her out? After all this time she took care of their ungrateful asses? Absolutely disgusting. They should be punished for taking her money. Also, those parents don't have a safety net? No savings? No career to fall back to in case their teenage daughter doesn't want to work anymore or loses her job? Huge responsibility to place on a minor teen's shoulders. They are financially abusing you. And it's emotional abuse as well. Imagine kicking your child out because they cut their hair? It's absurd. Well, most parents don't use their child as a cash cow either. I agree with you, and I said in another post to original post that her parents were unfairly using her as a cash cow. Macaulay Culkin got emancipated as a teen because his parents were taking all his money. Some parents do a great job of balancing kids who work, without exploiting them. See Saoirse Ronan, Emma Watson, Dakota Fanning. Other parents use their kids and completely screw them up. See Britney Spears and Lindsay Lohan. Parents who rely on their kids so they don't have to get off their ass and get a job are buttholes. And poor Britney still doesn't have control over her money again. TBF, even Britney recognizes that she's not fit to manage her own money. She just doesn't want her financially abusive father controlling it, either. This isn't their child, this is their cash cow. Agreed, parents didn't have a manager's role, they were borderline leeches. For a child to be a breadwinner in a house with grown-ass adults is effing wrong. Not the butthole. If they were actual managers and could see it, but since original post said there were other managers, his gives me the impression the parents just call themselves managers to justify leeching off original post. Most lawyers accept to do one free consultation. If they smell something illegal, they are likely to work in exchange of a percentage of the money you will receive. Really? So I could possibly get a lawyer without paying fees or a retainer or whatever? I'm sorry. All I know about lawyers I've learned from TV. It's called working on contingency. They lose, you don't pay anything, or a flat fee. They win and they get a bigger cut than what they'd usually get otherwise, usually a % of the win. You may also find some willing to work pro bono, for free. Contact your local attorney accreditation/registration office, they probably have lists of attorneys and should help you find one that fits your needs. I know this isn't an advice sub, but I've gotten amazing advice today. Thank you. Call your local bar association. I work at a small law firm and one of the attorneys here was the bar president for a while. We had people calling all of the time asking for referrals to who would best handle certain cases in the area we are located. It's a really good resource. I don't know if you have United Way locally, but they offer a free legal advice line. You can also try to look that up as well. Let me add, in the US sorry won't help original post much, but some states require lawyers to take a certain amount of pro bono cases to maintain their license. AKA free, no charges. I mentioned this way far down the thread, but interjecting here in the hope that original post sees it. In the US, anyway, there are nonprofits that specialize in legal services for minors who need their own representation. Google for children's law centers near you. If your needs are outside their specialty, some really focus on protecting kids in custody disputes. I bet they can refer you to someone who will know what you need. The Bar Association can also help, but a children's law center might be faster. Thank you. This is probably a much better option for you, because it seems pretty likely your parents have already spent most of what you earned. That is, any hope of winning a big payout would be stymied when your parents had to actually pay out by them not having the money. Not sure where you are, but in the UK there's a thing called the Citizens Advice Bureau, which is a very busy charity who offer the first steps of "Do I have a case? Who do I talk to? How can I get help?" There may be similar charities where you are that can help you with the first steps in getting your income separated from your parents. If you go to /r/legaladvice, ask them what sort of lawyer you need, then call your state bar association and ask for referrals for that kind of lawyer. Don't take free internet advice too seriously, because most people who post there are not actually lawyers, and importantly they're not your lawyer. Reddit link. I don't know how this industry works, but could you get a breakdown of what you have earned from your now ex-company? How much was paid for each job? How many jobs you did depending on where you are in the world? Does the company withhold your tax contribution, or would your parents file on your behalf? How much you are paying your other managers if your other managers have a record of what was meant to be done with your money, investment? Also ask your other managers what is supposed to happen when a minor is earning an income. Any information you get will help when you present your case to a lawyer. And remember, no matter who you are talking to, it's okay to ask the stupid questions. That's the only way you will learn, plus you will be in a much better position to make decisions when you have the correct information. Thankfully, I have my old contacts still. After today, I'm going to be reaching out to my old management team to gather this information. Also, look at what happened to Macaulay Culkin, the kid from Home Alone. In his day he was in the same situation. His parents were his management and squandered his money. It's a cautionary tale, and I believe it led to some legal changes. Gary Coleman, as well. If you are in the US, Google Coogan Act. It covers child actors, but in some states there are similar laws that cover modeling. There is a required for a portion of the money to be set aside for the child only for access at 18. In the US, in most instances a child's pay belongs to the parent legally. But in certain situations such as child actors, there are laws that set up an exception for child actors and such. It is how people like Macaulay Culkin were able to use their parents. Earlier in your post you were talking about Britney Spears' hair. Take a look about her money management problem and you'll see you're not far from her. You should really talk with a lawyer ASAP. And there should be law help for underage person. Info: how old are you and how long have you been supporting your family? My inclination is NTA. Your parents are not entitled to financial support from their child. Many people find cutting their hair cathartic. This could mean big changes for you since it impacts your finances, but you're not an AH for making a choice. If you're young, you're hugely not the butthole, because you should be focusing on grieving and living and embracing your autonomy. I'm 17, and this has been how it's been since. Forever. I got discovered at a junior pageant when I was 3 or 4, and it's just been the way it is. I never really questioned it. Sue their ass. They live upper middle class on your income. We also live in an expensive area, and I have 2 siblings, so I don't know how much I actually earn, but my family lives well, and my dad can't make much because he only works 25 hours a week at his job, so it must be decent. The fact that you're completely in the dark in regards to the money you bring in is worrisome. You should absolutely know how much you're making. She's just a kid. This is a lesson she will never forget though. Prepare yourself for battle op. This is going to get crazy. I think it's less you should know and more you should have been informed, and since they aren't giving you regular updates and making sure you're informed, you don't know which is wrong. I'm not blaming her for the situation at all. She's absolutely being taken advantage of because she's not legally an adult. Beyond decent. Both of my parents are engineers at the end of their careers, that puts them upper middle. So around the range of $100,000 a year, maybe more. To contextualize this better, I'm entering the graphic design field after going into debt to get a graphic design degree. I will be living lower mid to middle class, around $30,000 a year. It is financial abuse to take your paychecks. Get a portfolio together. There's no way in hell you won't be able to support yourself once you get kicked out if you're the breadwinner and they're living upper middle class. Finding a manager should be easy, you've got amazing skills. A portfolio is important for getting work. Not sure if your parents usually have control of your portfolio, but if you need help getting one together, I'm willing to help. Your previous agency should have copies of your pictures if you need them, I believe. You've fallen victim to financial abuse, like many child celebrities and models. The fact that you don't know this and have no access at all to your money that you are making is absurd. You have been / are being used. This post is so sad, I would feel like a slave if I were original post. I'm sorry, but it pains me to hear that you're being used so much that you don't even have knowledge about your earnings that are being taken from you. It would be lovely if you offered the money to help your family if they were struggling, but your family seems to have used you as a cash cow. I'm so sorry to hear of this. Please try to contact legal service. You are entitled to that money in most countries, and with you being almost 18, you will need it to support yourself soon. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.